Hello, my name is Milton Hershey. I was born on September 13th, 1857 in Knoxville, Pennsylvania. I am the son of Henry Hershey and Fanny Slavely. I had one sister named Serena Hershey who died of scarlet fever in 1864. I am famous for making the Hershey chocolate bar. I started my candy career in a little shop in Philadelphia, but I failed 6 years later. I tried again in New York but failed, so I moved back to Lancaster where I had a huge success in the caramel industry. Later in 1900s, I sold my caramel company for $1 million, interested in new candy chocolate. I started to work to perfect my chocolate recipe. After I did, I made a factory and hired workers. They made chocolate and I had a success in that. One thing you might not know about me is I never advertised my goods. I died October 13th, 1995 due to pneumonia when I was 88 years old. Thanks for listening to my life story.
You may have realized that what I just did was sign language, but did you know that sign means hello? Anyways, my name is Helen Keller. I was born on June 27, 1880. I am blind and deaf. When I was born, I was like any regular child, but 19 months later, I became very sick. I had a teacher named Anne Sullivan who taught me many things. I learned how to communicate with others by writing in their hands. My parents were Arthur H. Keller and Catherine A. Keller. I had 4 siblings, Simpson, Mildred, Phillips, and James. I went to Perkins School and learned much more. I continued to Radcliffe College, and I graduated. I spent the remainder of my life giving encouraging speeches. I died on June 1st, 1968. Thank you for listening to my life story.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I was just writing my news story. My name is Mark Twain. I was born on November 30th, 1835. I was famous for being one of the best authors in the world. Before I became the superstar, I had to get a woman first. After many attempts at proposing, she finally said yes. Many years after she died, I was accepted to Oxford University. I died on April 21st, 1910. Thank you for listening to my story. Now, see ya.
Ooh, that was fun. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. My husband Robert and I were just going for a run. Anyways, I was born on June 23rd, 1940 in Clarksville, Tennessee, the 20th of 22 kids. My parents are Ed and Blanche Rudolph. When I was born, I was diagnosed with polio, but I overcame it and was able to train with Ed Temple and his team at Tennessee State University. He asked me to train with him and his team. He asked me to try out with him and his team in the Olympics. I ended up making it, but lost. I tried out again and ended up making it. While I was in the Olympics, I won 3 gold medals and set 2 world records, counting the one I tied. Sadly, on November 12, 1994, I died. Thank you for running through my story with me. I hope you enjoyed it.
You might not have heard of a black abolitionist who escaped slavery, but that's me. Hi, my name is Harriet Tubman, and I was born around 1820. I escaped slavery when I was younger and decided to help enslaved people escape by the Underground Railroad. It's not actually a railroad, though. It's a series of houses that led people to freedom. Some people actually called me Moses because I led so many people to freedom. There's a plaque in front of the Auburn Courthouse in my memory. I'm remembered for leading so many people to freedom. I passed away in 1913 of pneumonia. Thank you for listening to my life story today.
Hello there, I'm Elizabeth Robeson, but people call me Betsy Ross. I was born January 1st, 1752. I became a good, amazing seamstress, so I was a good choice to sew the American flag. For the 3 years left of my life, I was blind, and with one of my daughter's family present, I died in my sleep on January 30th, 1836.
Hi, I'm Joe DiMaggio. I was born November 25th, 1914. I am famous for the amazing hitting streak of 61 straight games. My father never believed in my baseball career. I carved my first bat out of a wooden oar. I married actress Marilyn Monroe in 1954. I divorced her 9 months later. I was elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1955. I was presented with the Medal of Freedom by President Gerald Ford in 1976. In 1992, I started the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital Foundation. I died March 8th, 1999. Thank you for listening to my life story.
You probably know me as the person who said no to a white man when he told me to get out of my bus seat. Hello, I'm Rosa Parks. I was born on February 4th, 1913. In my later years of my life, I was on a bus where whites and blacks were separated, and there were a few seats in the middle where whites and blacks could sit together. I was sitting in that section of the bus, and all the white seats were filled up. And a white man entered the bus, and he told me to get out of my seat. I said no. I got sent to jail. After that, rights for blacks started to get better, and they could sit wherever they wanted on the bus. In the 60s, they had the same rights as whites. I died on October 24th, 2005. Thank you for listening to my life story.
Oh, hi there. I was just working on a mold for the cement house. What a hit that is. Hi, I'm Thomas Edison. These bright lights in here thanks to me. I was born on February 11th, 1847 in Millen, Ohio, but I grew up in Port Huron, Michigan. I was the last of 7 children. My parents were Nancy and Samuel Edison. I began my career selling newspapers, candy, and vegetables on trains running from Port Huron to Detroit. I was making $50 a week by the age of 13. I built the very first industrial research laboratory in 1878. This place was known as Manila Park. I did most of my experiments there. I even invented the phonograph and the light bulb there. Sadly, on October 18, 1931, I passed. I was a very important man in American history. Who knows, without me, we could still be navigating through the dark with candles.
Hi, my name is George S. Patton Jr. I was born on November 11, 1885. I had a very good childhood. My father, George S. Patton Sr., spoiled me a lot. I am most known for my leadership skills and knowledge of tank warfare. I served in both World Wars. An interesting fact about me is that I did fencing in the Olympics. I also believed in reincarnation. Unfortunately, I got in a car crash and got paralyzed from the neck down. I also broke my neck. Sadly, 12 days later, on December 21st, 1945, I passed away in my sleep of pulmonary edema and congestive heart failure at about 6 p.m. Thank you for listening to my life story today.
Phew, sorry, I was just winning a race back there. Hi, I'm Jesse Owens. I was born on September 12th, 1913. My parents were Henry and Mary Owens, and I was born in Oaksville, Alabama. I moved to Cleveland, Ohio, and joined a track team, and slowly became the best runner. I soon began to date Ruth Soloman, and after that, I married her and had 3 kids. I ran track at Ohio State University, and was one of their best runners, and even have a track named after me. I went to the Olympics in Berlin, Germany, and won 4 gold medals. My long jump record stood at 26 feet. I died in 1980 at the age of 66 from lung cancer. Well, gotta run.
So I'm just working on the Xbox too. Oh wait, that's classified information. Hey, I'm Bill Gates, and I was born on October 28, 1955 in Seattle, Washington. I was a middle child. At the age of 10, my parents sent me to Lakeside, which is an all-boys school. There I built a computer that tracks traffic waves. I'm famous for making the Microsoft computer back in the 70s with my roommate and best friend Paul Allen. I got married at the age of 26 in Hawaii to Melina Ann French. Together we had 3 children, 1 boy and 2 girls. I'm currently 65 years old. I'm also currently the 2nd richest person in the world behind Jeff Bezos.
Zoom, sorry, I didn't see you there. I was too busy to run on the bases. My name is Mickey Mantle. I was born on October 20th, 1931. I was a famous baseball player, and I was a switch hitter for the New York Yankees. I won 7 World Series and played in 12 World Series. I won 3 MVP awards and had 20 All-Star appearances. I was abducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1974. I died August 13th, 1995.
You may know me because I was one of the first ladies of the United States. You guessed right. My name is Eleanor Roosevelt. I was born on October 11th, 1884 in Manhattan, New York City. As a child, I went to Aylenswood Academy in London because my mother and father died before I was 10. I married the love of my life, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and we had 6 children. He later became the 32nd President of the United States, which led me to become the First Lady. I wrote many books. I gave speeches about human and women rights movement. I died at the age of 78 on November 7th, 1962. Thank you for listening to my life story.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. I was going to vote. My name is Susan B. Anthony, and like I said, I'm going to vote. Well, I'm actually not allowed to vote yet, but I will soon. I was born on February 15th, 1820 in Adams, Massachusetts. I am voting for myself. I have never done this before because I have been traveling and protesting for women to vote. I have brought with me the 14th Amendment that guarantees the right of citizens to vote. I also have a copy of the New York State Constitution. I am famous for allowing women to vote. I am also an abolitionist for the Underground Railroad. It helped slaves get out of town and run away. The Underground Railroad is not a real railroad, but it is a place where people come together to get rid of slavery. Thank you for listening to my life story today.
Ooh, sorry there, I was just carrying all my trophies. By the way, my name is Michael Jeffrey Jordan, and I was born on February 17th, 1963. Some call me the greatest to play the game of basketball, and some miss me on the court, especially in Chicago. I won 6 NBA titles, 5 MVPs, and Rookie of the Year. I also have a Nike brand named after me called Air Jordan. After my retirement, I became the owner of the Charlotte Hornets. Well, the final minutes of the clock are ticking, so bye.
Oh, sorry, didn't see you there. I was just reading my book. Anyway, my name is Louisa May Alcott. I was born November 29th, 1832. I grew up in Boston and Concord, Massachusetts. I had 3 siblings. Their names were Anna, Lizzie, and May. My father had a successful school for a while, but then people started to leave because of the nasty rumors that were made. As a child growing up, I loved to write poems. Fast forward a couple years later. Whenever the Civil War started, I went to the Civil War as a nurse. I then got really sick while nursing at a hospital. I then went home and started writing again. In 1868, I published Little Woman, and a couple years later, I started writing Little Men, which came out in 1871. On March 6, 1888, I died of a stroke. I will always be remembered as a passionate writer and a woman who took part in the women's rights. Thank you for listening to my life story today.
Greetings, fellow Americans. My name is Norman Rockwell. I was a famous painter. Some of my most famous paintings were the 4 Freedoms. The 4 Freedoms were some paintings which had American rights on them. I was born on February 3rd, 1894 in New York City. Growing up, I had one sibling, Jarvis Waring Jr. In school, I wasn't very popular or athletic. At one point in time, I tried to join the Army, but they turned me away at first. I had 3 wives, Molly Punderson, Irene O'Connor, and Mary Barstow. I also had 3 kids, Thomas, Peter, and James. Another interesting fact is all 3 of my wives were school teachers. I died on November 8th, 1978.